Usually when I truly cringe at something, which surprisingly isn't often, I think I've gotten desensitized at this point, there is a reason behind it that I can clearly state. But sometimes I cringe at something, and I just don't know why. And when I say cringe, I mean actually cringing, not just recognizing something as poor quality. If I cringe at something like a really bad joke, I know exactly why. Either it feels forced, or I've heard it a million times, or it isn't clever. Usually I can point out a specific reason. I immediately feel intense secondhand embarrassment, but there's some rare moments where I cringe at something strongly, and I have no clue as to why. Here's a list of some of them. Let's go. TikTok/Musical.ly videos. It's not any surprise that I cringe at these things along with anyone who watches hours of compilations of this stuff just to get a strange sense of entertainment from self-inflicted pain. These videos are becoming popular once again, and once again I am cringing at them, and I cannot definitively say why. Well, clearly I know why I'm cringing when I see something like this.
If you don't like furries, go away. If you don't like furries, go away.
But for all the relatively normal ones, I just don't know. Basically, what these people do is lip sync to an audio clip, and that's it. Why does this simple idea repulse me so much? Well, let's analyze it. Usually when I cringe, it's because someone tries to do something impressive, but fails miserably in a sad, uncomfortable way. But I don't think these people are trying to do something impressive. I think they're just trying to make a silly video. Let's go through some other reasons.
You can trust me, I swoops. No, I don't care if you swoops on your mother's life. My mother is not alive. Oh, I'm sorry.
So are these videos just poorly made? Well, not really. The concept is pretty simple. It's kind of difficult to mess up recording yourself lip syncing. Is the lip syncing off? Well, no, not really. Is what they are lip syncing too awful? Well, besides a really cheesy movie line every now and then, not really. Even though I can't pinpoint exactly what makes me cringe, I have a few theories. The first is how unimpressive it really is. You just find a conventionally attractive young person who knows how to move their lips to words and record them for a few seconds. Maybe it's the very concept of doing something that requires so little effort, time, and skill, and becoming popular that makes me cringe. But I don't think my cringe receptors are that developed for that to be the case. It could also be that when I look at these videos, I know that the person in front of me isn't actually saying these things. So maybe cringing is just my brain's way of telling me, hey, something here isn't right. It could also be speed. For some reason, all these videos are sped up, so things look way too energetic and unnatural. Why do they do this? I don't know. But the thing is, if you separate all of these elements, I'm not going to find any of them by themselves to be that bad. So I think my best theory is that all of these aspects combined is what makes me cringe. Which I guess isn't a very profound observation. However, even that theory doesn't seem exactly right to me. Clearly, someone finds these things appealing, or else these kinds of videos wouldn't even exist. So maybe I'm just missing out on something? But I doubt it. Twitter slang. Everyone knows that Twitter is just a more concise version of Tumblr nowadays. I use it daily, even though it makes me miserable, and all kinds of people use it as well. Through this time, I've seen a lot of slang pass through my feed. When it comes to slang, I'm usually pretty neutral. Sometimes there's a word that just makes me laugh for no reason, but most of the time, I just approach it like any other word, with no strong feelings one way or the other. But there's something about Twitter slang that makes me physically cringe every time I encounter it. And yet again, I have no idea as to why. Here's some recent ones. That's the T, and big dick energy. T is supposed to be a word to describe, well, general gossip, to put it simply. If you say something that sounds like a call-out, it is guaranteed that someone with a profile picture so layered with Snapchat filters that you can't even discern where their face is, jumps in and says something like, "This is some hot tea, sis." like that's supposed to mean anything. But again, I really shouldn't be bothered by this. I've known about this gossip culture for years. I shouldn't care whatsoever. But time and time again, I see that word in that context, and my brain is like, no, 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 absolutely not. Get that out of here. Big dick energy is the other one. In fact, describing anything with energy usually makes me cringe. Usually someone takes two similar drawings from an anime or something and says, these have the same energy. Like, yes, I suppose they're really just two images that look the same, but whatever. And sometimes they take anything anyone has done and says they have big dick energy, which from what I've gathered just means you've done something positive. However, when I really step back and look at it, it's just a silly joke. I shouldn't be bothered. It's completely irrational. But once again, I cringe, and I don't know why. Ed Sheeran, Shape of You. Now this one may seem oddly specific, and that's because it is. I've cringed at a lot of pop music before, but the only reason I would even mention this specific song is because it's played everywhere I go. But when I think about it, when I consider the actual quality of the song, it's just average to me. So why do I cringe? For this one, I do have another theory, and it's in the lyrics. Am I the only one who thinks that the main hook, I'm in love with your body, is quite possibly the most superficial lyric ever written? He's pretty much just saying, I'm in love with your body, your physical appearance, not even your face, just your body. Even the rest of the song doesn't really mention anything else besides her body and sex. Every day discovering something brand new? Well, that's not a good sign. Maybe you should take her to a doctor. The only thing that even comes close to anything else besides her body is these lines. You talk about how your family's doing okay? That's about the depth of conversation I had during a teacher conference when I stabbed a kid a few times for touching my body pillow. 90% of the female population may have a restraining order against me, but I still know that crap ain't any fun to talk about while dating. When I think about it, the shallowness of this song is not any different from most pop music, so I really don't have much reason to cringe at this specific song, but I do anyway. So, did you like this video? What kind of stuff do you cringe at but don't know why you cringe at it? Don't tell me in the comments because I don't care. Anyway, my name is Solar Sands, and goodbye.